Hello, welcome to some floor-based yoga with me, Caroline, and Mr. Crow, who's just sitting up there watching over us. Now we're going to use a straw today, and you don't need a straw. I've got a straw just to demonstrate, and this is a paper straw, so don't worry, it's eco-friendly. I know lots of you always ask me when I get the straws out. And we're going to try our straw breathing. So we just need to come to a comfortable seated position. Now that can be kneeling. It can be sitting cross-legged, or maybe you prefer to lie down on your back. If you're lying on your back, just have your knees bent up and your feet on the floor. And we're going to breathe in and out, as we normally do in yoga, through our nose if we can today. So breathing in and out through our nose. And you might want to close your eyes to begin with. You can have your hands on your lap or your hands on your belly. And we're breathing in and out. Breathing into the belly. Into the lungs. Into our upper chest. Can you maybe feel the breath in the back of your body? And if you've got your eyes closed, gently opening the eyes, just noticing how you feel after a minute or two of gentle breathing. We're going to bring our straws into it now. So maybe you've got an imaginary straw. Maybe you've got a real straw. Maybe you've rolled up a piece of paper as a straw. But as I said, you don't need the actual straw. I'm just going to show you what I mean by straw breathing. So we breathe in through our nose, and then we breathe out through a straw. So if you're doing this without a straw today, you can breathe in through your nose, and you're imagining you're breathing out through a straw. And you might notice something different. What changes with the breath? So when we breathe out, it gets a little bit longer and it expels all the air from our lungs. And so what I mean by that is sometimes we breathe in before we have fully breathed out. So it makes sure we've breathed out as much as we can before we breathe in. So I'm going to put my straw away, pop that up with Mr. Crow. I'm just remembering to take my glasses off as well. And pop those there. So I'm going to breathe in and out with my imaginary straw, and I'd love it if you could join me in this. So make sure you're feeling comfortable still. Maybe you need to change your position, the cross of the legs, or come to kneeling. And we're going to breathe in and breathe out through our straws. And maybe you'd like to close your eyes. Sometimes that helps. Bring our concentration inward so we can really feel the breath. Breathing in and breathing out through our imaginary straws. And then gently opening the eyes. Just notice how you feel. Do you feel maybe a little bit calmer? So it's a really good breath for calming us down. So anytime you need to calm down, maybe you can't get to sleep in the evenings, or maybe you feel a bit worried or anxious about something, or you're just feeling a bit fed up and frustrated, it's a great breath to be able to use. And I learned it from a very special teacher called Donna Fari, who lives in New Zealand. So it's a very wonderful breath that I got from her. We're going to start stretching our bodies now. So we're going to reach up through our fingertips. So reaching up tall. And then bringing your hands back down. We're going to do that again, but I'm going to change the cross or the position of my legs. I've been kneeling for a while, so I'm going to come to cross-legged, but this time we're going to clasp the hands. So we're going to clasp our hands, push our hands away from us. So we're stretching our fingers. Stay like that for a little bit. Maybe you can feel the stretch in your fingers. And then we're going to breathe in and raise our arms. So breathing in and reaching up to the sky. And we're going to use our straw breath to breathe out and take our arms down. And we want our arms to come down really slowly. So when we move our arms, it's going to last as long as our breath. So breathing in and breathing out. Well done. Let's stretch the side of the body. So reaching over, make sure your bottom's still on the floor. And the other side. Well done, and coming back again. And we'll give the fingers a really gentle stretch. So we've stretched our fingers clasping and turning out, and we'll give them a little bit of a tug. Just be really gentle. Bit of a tug and a bit of a squeeze. It's like a little bit of a hand massage. And then we're going to roll the wrists. So rolling the wrists. It's almost like we're making a lotus flower with our hands. So the hands are almost stuck together at the wrists, and we're rolling them round. There's lots of different variations of this, lots of different ways of doing it. There's a lovely one a friend of mine taught me. It's like giving your heart to someone. So rolling it out and bringing it back in, so changing the direction. Really important to massage and move our hands because they do so much for us. We're going to work with our shoulders now. So I'll put our hands on our shoulders and we're going to make some circles. So a circle and a circle. Lovely. And I'm moving backwards, but it doesn't matter if you're going backwards or forwards because we'll change direction at some point. And then maybe you come the other way. So coming forwards. So stretching our shoulders. Lovely, and coming back down. And now we're going to do a little bit of a twist. So if you've got enough space around, you can reach out to the sides. If not, you can just have your hands, elbows tucked in. We're going to breathe in and breathe out and turn around towards the right side. So maybe you haven't gone very far, but maybe you can look over your shoulder just a little bit more. So we're twisting our spine. And this is a lovely massage for our spine. We'll come back to center and then we're going to go in the other direction, looking over our left shoulder. And coming back to center. Well done. We're going to stretch our legs out now. Stretch these legs out. Oof. They've been crossed or kneeling for quite a while. If you're still lying down, gently come up to sitting. I'm going to point and flex the toes. So hopefully you can point your toes one at a time. And you can have the hands down by the sides to help support you. So we're working with our feet now. And then windscreen wipering. So taking them to one side and then the other. So you might find you feel it all the way up in your hips. Slowly windscreen wipering, I should say. Like the big windscreen wipers on a bus. Lovely. And then we're going to come back to sitting. And this time we're going to bring our feet together, soles together here. And we're not going to have them too close in today. So sometimes we do that pose. We're going to take them a little bit further away from our bodies. And we're going to come and fold forwards. So we're trying to get our nose to our toes, which is quite hard. So we're sitting up really, really tall, breathing in. And as you breathe out, we're folding forwards. And I know some of you will be able to get your nose all the way to the toes. Remembering to breathe here. That lovely slow breath. You can always come back to your straw breathing if that helps. And then we're going to take our hands over to one side. And then we're going to take our hands over to the other side. And then we're going to come back to center. Well done. Extend the legs back out. And we're going to do the rock the baby pose. You may remember this from a few weeks ago. So we're going to take one leg and we're going to pretend it's a baby and we're going to rock it. So I'm holding the knee and the foot is in the crook of my elbow there. And I'm sitting really tall and I'm just rocking it left and right. So just gently rocking on my bottom and rocking the leg as well. So you might want to bring it in, bring it out. So it's whatever feels good for your body. So we've all got very different bodies and very different skeletons. So you might find moving it left and right feels better. You might feel rocking on the floor feels better. So whatever works for you. Bringing a little bit more movement into our hips. So if we sit a lot, it's really important to look after our hips and bring some mobility, some movement to the area. That's lovely. We've done that side and then we're going to do the other side. So bringing that other leg up, and you might find one leg is easier than the other. That's because we're not symmetrical. Nobody's symmetrical. So we're different on both sides of our bodies. Rocking left and right, maybe moving the leg left and right as well. And then we can let that go and stretch our legs out. We're going to come on to kneeling now. And I'm going to kneel at one end of my mat. So wherever you're working, if you're working on the floor, just make sure you've got a little bit of space in front of you because we're going to come forward. My big toes are touching and my knees are wide apart. And I'm going to creep forwards in my hands. So we're just coming forwards. Not coming very far. So I've still got my bottom on my heels, my shoulders are away from my ears, and I'm looking at the floor. And maybe this is just enough, or maybe you can creep the hands forward a little bit further. And some of you might be able to bring your forehead all the way down to the floor. And then very slowly, wherever you are, creeping the hands back towards your body so you can come up to sitting. We're going to come into our box position now for cat and cow. So we have to really think about spreading the hands there, spreading your fingers really wide. And then we have to put our hands on the floor flat as pancakes. So I'm going to plant my hands down and have a look at your middle finger. Is it pointing forwards? Our hands are under our shoulders. And our knees are under our hips. So if you're not sure, you can always get an adult or a grown-up to help you. And then we're going to make our happy cat, angry cat, or happy cat, sad cat pose. So we're going to breathe in and we're looking almost forwards and tipping our tailbone up towards the ceiling, and our belly is going towards the floor. And then we're going to breathe out and curl around, arch our back, making that scared or angry cat shape. And then happy cat. So the main thing here is to remember to breathe. So try not to stop breathing. Sometimes when we're concentrating, we stop breathing. And doing one more, trying to use the whole of your back for this pose. And then coming back to center. We'll sit back, do our wrist rolls again, lotus flowers. Lovely. And we're going to come back to that box position and do our superhero poses. So you can decide which superhero you want to be today. Make sure your hands are really flat on the floor. Middle fingers are pointing forwards. And breathe in. I'm going to reach through one leg. So you'll see my toes are pointing to the floor. And then I'm going to reach through the opposite arm. We're looking at the floor. Really good balance here and coordination. And then we'll bring them both in. And then we've got to go to the other side. So we'll take the other leg up. Toes are pointing to the floor. And then we're going to reach through those fingertips. And we'll bring that back down. We're going to do that 3 more times. So reaching through. Bringing them back in. And the other side. Make sure when you place your hands down, they're still flat as pancakes. 1 more on each side. Toes are pointing towards the floor. And then we're going to come into child's pose. So our traditional child's pose where we tuck right in and either the hands are stacked under our forehead or the hands are behind us. So we're rolled around in a little ball. And wherever you are, making sure you're breathing. And your belly will be quite squashed on your legs. And where can you feel your breath going? And then very slowly come back up to sitting. Lovely. We're going to take our feet out wide now. So the feet are coming wide. And the toes are pointing up to the ceiling. So the feet are flexed. And we're going to come into a forward fold. And then we're going to go to one side. And then we're going to go to the other before we come to lying down. So breathing in, breathing out. And we're folding forwards. So remember, we're leading with our chest and our heart here. Folding forwards, lovely. Make sure the toes are still working, they're not cheating, they're still pointing out to the ceiling. And then we're going to go over to the right hand side and look at our right toes. And then we're going to come back through center and look at our left toes. And then come back to center and all the way up. We're going to come to lying down now. So making sure our toes are pointing forwards. There's a little bit of a gap between our feet. Make it a little bit wider. We're going to have the hands on the floor, either side of us. We're going to reach up with one leg. Maybe you can reach up through the heel and really straighten that leg. And we're going to point the foot and flex it. Point, flex. We'll do that 3 more times. And then we'll make some circles with that foot as well. Lovely strong legs in the air. That's quite a lot of work for our legs. And bring that foot down. And then we'll reach up through the other leg. And we'll point and flex. We'll do that another 4 times. So 5 times in total. And then we're going to create some circles. And we'll bring that foot back down. Lovely. And we're going to windscreen wiper our knees now. So the feet are on the floor, the toes are pointing forwards, my hands are down to help me with my balance. And I'm going to windscreen wiper the legs. So just really slowly going from one side to the other. Remembering to breathe. Slowly going left to right and right to left. Doing one more and coming back up to center. And from here, we're going to bring our knees in, have our hands on our knees and give our knees a lovely big hug. And maybe you can squeeze your knees right in. Give them a really big hug and squash your belly a little bit more. It's like a belly massage. And then we're going to pop our feet back down. We're going to bring our hands to our belly now. Keep our shoulders nice and relaxed. Our feet are on the floor. And we're going to come back to finish with our straw breathing. So having a little think about the straw breathing in, we're breathing in through the nose. And breathing out through the mouth, a bit like we're blowing through a straw. We're going to do 10 in total. So that was 2, this is 3. Breathing in through the nose and blowing out through the mouth like you're blowing through a straw. And when you've done your 10 breaths, maybe you lost count, doesn't matter. We're going to roll over onto one side and very slowly come up to sitting. So taking your time, rolling over to one side and coming up to sitting. And sitting tall, you can sit cross-legged or kneeling, whatever feels comfortable for you. Remember, we've got that lovely long posture, long spines, sitting tall, shoulders relaxed, and the hands can just be resting on the knees, up or down. Bringing your hands together at heart center, so joining both halves of the body together. And notice how you feel. And I'm going to say goodbye, my yoga way. I'm going to take my hands to my forehead to remind us all to have kind thoughts, to my lips to remind us to have kind words, and back down to my heart center to remind us all to have kind actions. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for some floor-based yoga today. I hope you enjoyed the class. Do give me a thumbs up if you liked the class and comment below. Let me know how you got on with your breathing, the straw breathing, and whether you found it really hard, really easy, or just okay. It's always good to know and hear your comments. And if you'd like to know about any more classes that I'm teaching via YouTube, whether they're live or recorded, you can just click on the subscribe button, that little blue crow in the bottom right-hand corner. Otherwise, now it's goodbye from me and goodbye from Mr. Crow. We hope to see you again soon.